I want to discuss the two secret side deals between the IAEA and Iran. I had to travel to Vienna last weekend to discover the existence of these side deals. The administration has now confirmed their existence. There's still some lack of clarity about their content. Secretary Kerry, have you read either of these two side deals between the IAEA and Iran?
No, I haven't read it.
Have you read any previous drafts?
No, I haven't.
On any form, paper, tablet, computer?
I've been briefed through our team that met with the IAEA.
Did anyone on your team read the text of these agreements?
I believe one person may have read it at the facility, but doesn't have it. They don't possess it.
What is that person's name?
It's possible. I don't know for sure, but it's possible Wendy Sherman may have, but I don't know that for sure.
Secretary Moniz, have you read the text of these agreements?
No, sir. I've not seen them.
Have you read any prior version?
No, sir.
On any medium, computer,
Nope.
tablet, phone?
Nope.
Has anyone on your team at the Department of Energy?
I'm not sure. I don't know. I think not, but I'm not sure about that. I can ask. In terms of the technical team, maybe somebody saw something.
Please do and get back to us.
Okay.
Secretary Kerry, besides potentially Undersecretary Sherman, has, to your knowledge, anyone else in the United States government reviewed the text of these agreements?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't know. I don't think so.
If Undersecretary Sherman has read the text of these agreements, even if they are not in her possession, does that not undercut the claims of confidentiality between the IAEA and Iran?
I don't know whether she read a summary or a draft, or I have no idea. I said I think, and I'm not sure, but I know she's briefing the Senate very shortly, Senator. So she'll be briefing in classified.
I have received several classified briefings about the deal, and I look forward to another one. But what Congress would like is the text of these agreements as required by U.S. law. Certain published reports starting, or most recently with the Associated Press yesterday, say that the content of the side deal that discusses Parchin, the military base where detonators for nuclear devices may have been tested, will allow Iran to collect their own samples and submit those samples to the IAEA, much like an NFL player taking his own urine sample and sending it to Roger Goodell for a drug test. Can you confirm or deny that that's the content of those side deals?
I can't here in this session, but what I can confirm is that Secretary Moniz, in his discussions both with the IAEA and with the team, made recommendations to them, and I believe is satisfied that this can, whatever the process is, that the process will be able to provide the answers we need. I don't know, Secretary Moniz, if you want to add anything to that.
Actually, no, I'd like to stick with you, Secretary Kerry. Why can't we confirm or deny the content of these agreements in public? Why is this classified?
Because
it's not a sensitive U.S. government document. The Ayatollahs know what they agreed to.
Because we respect the process of the IAEA, and we don't have their authorization to reveal what is a confidential agreement between them and another country.
So the Ayatollahs will know what they agreed to, but not the American people?
Well, no, not exactly, because we will share with you in the classified briefing what we understand the contents to be. But they negotiated the agreement with the IAEA. The IAEA is an independent entity under the United Nations, Senators, I know you know. And I don't know even at this point what the law says about the United States requiring something which another entity's laws prohibit. So we have to see whether that's a conflict with law.
U.S. law requires any deal between any party, not just the United States, to be submitted to Congress before the 60-day clock begins to tick. To the extent the IAEA, which I respect for the very admirable work they do, which is often not supported by their member states, says it's unprecedented, I would say this deal is without precedent, and past precedents with cooperative countries like South Africa cannot be cited. I'd like to move on to a second topic, specifically Iran's support for terrorism. Could I have chart 1, please? General Dempsey, this chart describes a particularly powerful kind of roadside bomb known as an explosively formed penetrator. Are you familiar with what it shows?
I am, Senator.
Could you explain exactly what the bottom diagram shows of how an explosively formed penetrator works?
A copper cone is melted at super high temperatures and projected and essentially burns its way through armor plate.
The copper disk travels at about 6,000 feet per second. Could I have chart 2, please? so we can see what happens to a Humvee when a ball of fire travels at 6,000 feet per second. General Dempsey, is that familiar to you?
Yes, Senator, it is.
Do you know how many American troops were killed by such explosively formed penetrators?
That particular incident or
No,
in general?
in general.
Several hundred.
Was Iran a main supplier of these explosively formed penetrators?
Yes.
Was Qasem Soleimani and the Quds Force and the Revolutionary Guard Corps the main perpetrators in Iran?
Yes.
Secretary Kerry, those entities and Qasem Soleimani will ultimately receive sanctions relief from this deal, not necessarily from the United States government, but from the United Nations and the European Union. What should we say to the Gold Star moms and dads of the over 500 American troops who were killed by an Iranian ball of fire traveling 6,000 feet per second?
Well, we should tell them, obviously, first of all, how extraordinarily grateful we are for the service of their loved ones. We should also make it very, very clear that under the United States' initiative, Qasem Soleimani will never be relieved of any sanctions. It would also tell them and lay out to them what we intend to do, which has not been done yet sufficiently, to push back against Iran's behavior, that we have a number of laws in place, requirements by which we will be able to prevent Iran from transferring these weapons. And we have already engaged, Senator, in very forward-leaning initiatives to do that. We specifically turned around a convoy recently in the last months that was bringing weapons to Yemen. And we've been crystal clear, and I will be even more clear when I meet with the Gulf states, about our united efforts to hold them accountable for these kinds of activities.
Thank you all. My time has expired.
Senator Morono.